Hi, everybody. How's it going? What's up? This is today we're talking about some big stuff here. This is really what's happening. So, interested to learn from you. What are you thinking about? What big decisions do you have in front of you? What little decisions do you have in front of you? What are you weighing, contemplating, doing, not doing? Like where are you in action and knowing that you're going to have to take action pretty soon, or maybe past due, right? But before we get into that, let's breathe. Breathing. It's the world's gift to you, right? The world, nature, the universe, oxygen, your parasympathetic response system, it's supporting you all the time. You don't even have to think about it. You don't have to do anything about it. It's just here keeping you alive. Isn't that amazing? And yet when we bring some thought and some intentionality to it, we can get even more out of this whole natural process of breathing. So let your belly go really poochy soft, and soften your gaze and soften your jaw. And just appreciate this moment of aliveness. Let's inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last one. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that felt delicious. Thank you for doing that with me. So we're here, we're live on the Facebooks, we're live on Zoom. If you would rather be watching on Zoom than on Facebook, please make sure that you are on my email list at therealsambennett.com, because we send out these reminders. And actually this Zoom link is always the same, so you can just put it in your calendar if you want. Be here every Thursday when we talk about big things, important things. Sam, can I copy the message here? Yeah. Hi, Julie. How's it going? The big decisions don't have to be hard. That one. Here's the chat, everyone. There, that's what I said about today's thing. Is that big decisions don't have to be hard, but they do have to get made. You do have to make them. And it's a little saying in the entrepreneurial community that money loves decisions, money loves speed. Money loves decisions, money loves speed. The more you get used to making decisions, making more decisions, making decisions faster, saying yes or no to things. There's a great story about Mike Nichols, the great legendary director, who somebody was visiting him on set, and one of the set guys came up to him with 2 different dining room chairs and said, "Hey, Mike, which chair do you want for the dining room? This set or this set?" And he goes, "That one, those." Great, good. And then his friend who was visiting was like, "How did you know? How did you know how to decide that? Like, I feel like I could never be in charge of this. I wouldn't know which chair to pick." And Mike Nichols said, "It doesn't matter what chair you pick. It matters that you make a decision." It doesn't matter which chair you pick. It matters that you make a decision. Why? Because you could always make another decision. But if you stand there forever going, it's like there's a right one and a wrong one. No, there's just a decision. And if you can access extra information, like the expertise of the person making the offer, or your own intuition, or research, or whatever else is available to you, all the better. But sometimes you just have to decide. So, chat is still disabled. That's so weird. I went and looked on the Zooms and the settings, and there's nothing about the chat being disabled. I don't understand. All right, we're gonna have to start a help ticket or something. So sorry, chatters. You can, I think, put in, because there's Q&A. Yeah, there's Q&A, so you can type a question into the Q&A. Yeah, sorry about that, y'all. Okay, so here's the big news. You ready? I bought a house. I am 55 years old. and I have just purchased my first home. Well, actually, closing is on the 17th, so I haven't quite purchased it yet. But all the documents are in order. Everything's all lined up. We've booked the movers. It's happening. I am moving to Old Lyme, Connecticut, which is there along the shore. I don't know how familiar you are with Connecticut. There's a whole bunch of towns there in between, like New Haven and Rhode Island. Branford, Guilford, which is where some of my family lives, Madison, Clinton, Old Saybrook, where Kate Hepburn lived, right? And then I'm just up the road a little bit to Old Lyme, which is, yes, where the ticks come from, for sure. So yeah, I'm moving cross country. And it's blown my mind a little bit, for sure. We got a terrific, spotless 4-bedroom house with private lake access, and paid a lot less for it than I would pay for a shed in Southern California. Good. People are saying congratulations. Thanks. Yay. Thanks, Tara. Thanks, Julie. So let's talk about how this happened, because while I'm sure you're, super fascinated about my life, let's talk about you. It's your life that's important here. So it might be helpful to you to think about this in the context of a decision that you need to make. This might help you move forward on that, or maybe even on some decisions you're resisting making. That might even be more useful. So the first thing I want to say about making a big decision is that you need to be paying attention. You need to be paying attention. It's very easy to, get lulled, right, by the sameness of things. And the way our brains are created, we really only pay attention to new things, right? So our minds tend to sort of tune out anything that's the same, because we can only process so much information at once, right? So, when your child is growing up, you don't necessarily notice all the changes, but me as an aunt who comes in every 2 months and goes, oh my gosh, they've totally changed, they've totally grown, this is new. The place you only go to once every 10 years, you're like, oh wow, it's different, right? But if you're there every day, you don't notice it so much. So Marcia's asking me, did we visualize the house, or what is the surprise guide? I knew I wanted not a new house. I'm not interested in new construction at all. I knew I wanted more space than I've ever had. This apartment we live in now is the biggest place I've ever lived in, and it's about a little over 1,000 square feet. So I had modest demands. And I wanted something special about it. I wanted something special. And and if I could have water, that was like, glory, glory, hallelujah. The fact that this place is on a lake and we have this private lake access where we can kayak and swim and canoe, and made it really special. Another house I put an offer in was not on a lake. But it was really hand done. Like somebody had made these kitchen cabinets. You could tell that it was, and there was still like a little thing by the door that said keys with the little hooks, there was a little phone table with a pen so you could talk on the phone, and that house really touched me too. So that's what I wanted. I wanted something that sort of felt like people had lived there, that felt loved and homemade kind of, and cared for, and then something special, but I was open to whatever the something special was. I will also tell you, I have not actually been inside this house yet. I've bought a house sight unseen. Now, I've been on a Zoom tour with my agent. I looked at a lot of other houses in the area while I was there in June. But my sister saw it. My sister and I are very close, and she has much higher standards than I do, and she approved of it. And my niece, who is 15 and has much higher standards than all of us, also approved. So between the Zoom tour and their good thoughts and my realtor, whom I super trust, that was enough to make me say yes. June saying beautiful and charming, lots of artists. Yep, big artist community all over that part of Connecticut. Will there be snow? Probably, yes. Yes. Hi, Jenny. Great to see you. So, so the first thing in making a big decision is pay attention. And sometimes you can help yourself if you do, because as you may remember, last year I got kicked out of my soul home, Carpinteria, California, where we were living in a 850 square foot apartment, maybe something like that. Super tiny, but I loved that place and I would have stayed in there. They would have had to take me out feet first if they'd let me. But they didn't. The building got sold. They turned it into an Airbnb. I was heartbroken. I'm still heartbroken. You know, I wrote letters to the mayor and to the paper, and I called 4 different lawyers, all of whom said, enjoy your move. And at that point, so we had to move kind of in a hurry. So we ended up moving to Ventura, which is terrific, great place, and found this apartment, which is lovely. And it was then I had to realize a couple of things. First of all, as much as I loved Carpinteria, it is not the same town that I moved to 10 years ago. It had changed. The economy had changed. The economic disparity of the area had changed. LA too is not the same LA that I moved to in 94. And just waking up to that. I mean, I love California. I have always loved California. I will always love California. I fought very hard to get here. I fought very hard to stay here. I sacrificed a lot to stay here. And it was still very emotional for me to realize, like, yes, and the place is different and I'm different and what I need in my life is different. And you may remember when I left Carpinteria, one of the other things I had to sort of disentangle was this concept of my life versus my lifestyle. Like, I had made living on the beach at Carpinteria mean something about me, about my personality, about who I was in the world. I made it mean something about my life. But that was actually just my lifestyle. Right. And some of you may have had that, right? You like raise kids and all of a sudden they leave and you're like, oh no, what happened to my life? Raising your children was not your life. It was your lifestyle. It was the way in which you were living your life. It involved raising children, or it involved being at this place of work, or being married to this person or that person, or in my case, any one of these 4 people. So where can you be assessing, like, is this really still a good match for me? Is this really still a good fit for me? Is the way this place has changed and grown something I like, or something I'm not liking and ignoring, right? And for me, the economic disparity in Carpinteria, and I don't care how much money people have, and I don't care how they spend it. I really don't. That was part of my big old money healing for myself. I spent many years being super broke. And in order to make money and be able to buy a house, I had to get over that. And part of it was like realizing, oh, there's an infinite amount of money in the world. It doesn't really matter. You can't waste money any more than you can waste time. It just goes places. So let it go places. If people want to spend $30,000 on a wedding dress, whatever. I think that's dumb, but they're not asking me, right? But this like $150 million for a house in Carpinteria, condos for $1 million, mobile homes for $1 million. There's a mobile home for $1 million in Carpinteria. It's just not in right relationship. It's disproportionate. And the people who worked and lived in the town can't afford to work and live in the town. When we were leaving, I was talking to everybody. I was talking to the UPS guy, the waitress, the server at the diner, the post office. Like, I was talking to everybody, and everybody was like, you know, because I was so sad that I was moving, I wanted to talk to everybody about it. And everybody was like, oh yeah, we live in Ventura. Oh yeah, we live in Goleta. Oh yeah, we live in Santa Maria. Yeah, like, no one who works in the town can afford to live there. And that to me says that there's something not right going on. Okay. So let's see. So what else do I have to say about this? So yeah, life versus lifestyle. And then we were here in Ventura, and Luke and I started talking about you know, what could be next, and starting to sort of consider, well, what do we want the next 5, 10, 20 years of our life to look like? And we just started to pay attention to the sparkly breadcrumbs, right? This is exactly what I always tell you guys when you're thinking about making a move. Is like, well, just follow the sparkly breadcrumbs. See where there's something energetically pulling you forward. See where there's something that's tickling you. See where there's something that's, you know how it is. You sort of have a thought and then you see an ad and then your friend says, and you're like, oh my God, I'm getting all these messages. Yeah, you're noticing things, right? So we started to talk about, well, do we want to move back into LA? Very, not inexpensive. And I love LA, but again, not the same town I moved to. A lot of what I loved about it isn't there anymore. Did we want to, I grew up in Chicago. I love Chicago. It's an amazing town. Also different than when I grew up there, but still, lots of options in Chicago. But not really feeling it. London, Luke is from the UK. We were talking about maybe moving back to the south of London where his mother lives, and that had some appeal, but again, nothing ever really gelled around that idea. But Connecticut, I was going back and forth a lot, and just really kind of fell in love with it. And my sister and I are very close. We've always wanted to live near each other. We've been not fighting, but like saying for years, like, no, come to California. No, come to the East Coast. No, come to California. Come to the East Coast. And my niece and nephew are 15 and 12. And it felt like I had about 10 minutes of time to be able to enjoy them and be with them before they become adults themselves and fly off. So that was really where the decision was. And especially after my father died, it just felt like they needed more family nearby. And the rest of my family, while not in Connecticut, is a lot there along the Eastern Seaboard. So I'll be able to see more of my cousins and them. So, right, notice what's changing, right? Release your old beliefs about what's possible and start to consider the sparkly breadcrumbs. This is your process here, right? Marcia's asking, decision-making quickly creates change. Truth. It's inevitable, but we fear it. Do you make decisions when you're feeling strong emotion or not? I say not. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired, thirsty, right? All that's like, be settled and let the decisions unfold gently, right? Carry it lightly, carry it as lightly as you can. I at no time allowed myself to get swept into the like, oh my God, I can't believe, like just take it a step at a time, right? Lori says, I made that kind of move in 1999, best decision ever. Yep, LA is hard, particularly when it's your hometown. The decision is really different then. I bet it is. It was hard leaving Chicago, for sure. Good. So then what do you do? So now we're like pretty settled of like, okay, I think we might want to move. I think we might want to move to Connecticut. Well, then get good help, right? So I got a great realtor. His name is Willard. How can you not love a realtor named Willard? He was wonderful. He knows everything. He took me all around, really knew what questions to ask, got to know me and what I like and what my opinions are, what Luke likes, what his opinions are. You got to put up a wall to the naysayers, right? Oh my God, it's moving so stressful. That's not my story. Oh my God, housing's so expensive. That's not my story. Oh my God, it's so complicated. That's not my story. That may be true for you. It may be true for the rest of the world. It's not true for me. I am choosing to have this be a fairly easy, flowing, joyful experience. That's not that hard. Okay. So where can you say, that's not my story? Where are you buying into a myth that something is going to be painful or hard, right? And trust the process. I mean, realize that, things unfold as when my first husband, Ron West, and I got married, one of the things that our preacher, the late great Reverend David Chevrier, who I grew up with, said was, you two have been deciding to get married since you met. That decision to get married is an ongoing one. And we just make a big deal about this step of it, where you wear the big white dress and all your friends come. And in fact, you will be deciding to stay married every morning, every day after that. And it's true. If you've been married, you know, every day it's a decision. Am I going to stay married to this person? All right, maybe till 2 o'clock anyway. I'm not promising anything after that. Right. So trust the process, let the process unfold. Be prepared to be delighted, you know, and not too attached. Like I said, we put an offer in on 1 or 2 other houses. And you know, and it didn't happen, which was fine. You know, like, okay, clearly that's not my house. How do I know I didn't get the house? There you go. The other things that make this a lot easier is I'm pretty good about keeping my house in order, right? So my finances are clear. You know, I document everything. I have all my files. So when the mortgage broker was like, we need everything that's ever happened to you, I was like, sure, here you go. We just moved a year ago, so I did all the picking through and sorting then. So I'm not having that like, oh my God, I don't even know what's in that closet. Like, no, I know exactly what's in that closet because I just put it there a year ago. So some people are like, oh, are things still in boxes? No, things are not still in boxes. But so, you know, so I don't have to pack and sort, which is one of the things that makes moving hard, is when you're trying to you know, decide what you're going to keep and what you're going to let go of as you are also packing. Right now, we just have to pack. So there's Ashley. Hi, baby. Leslie, love, be prepared to be delighted. Big yes to that. Yes. Marcia says, love that. Not my story. So good. Exactly. Lynn Lisa says, moving creates momentum for a great new lifestyle. It's the best step. Yeah, it's fun, right? So again, where you think you might have to make a decision soon, where you can see one kind of coming over the horizon, get your house in order, you know, clear up those back taxes, pay down that credit card, update your resume, rebuild that relationship with that friend or that community, you know, put things, you know, start to put things in order so that when the time comes to move, you're ready, you are prepared. Not necessarily move house like I am, but you know, to make a move, you're ready. You're ready, or at least somewhat ready. And Joe says, change is so healthy. Change is life. Change is. The world is life. We love to pretend like it's not. Right? We love to pretend like, oh, we like it when things are the same. No, we like it when things are changing and growing. Right? New cells, new opportunities, new voices, new opinions, new ways of being in the world. Lean in to that which is new and that which is changing. And especially, and you know, if I'm talking to you, I'm taking my glasses off, so you know this is serious. Keep up with the technology. Keep up. I know it's hard. I know this phone's only 3 years old and blah, blah, blah. I don't understand the new, what's TikTok? I don't get, find out. Keep up, because technology, you don't have to follow everything, but you got to keep up, because otherwise I swear you will be left behind. And you do not want to be that person who's like, oh, I don't know how to check my email, or I don't know how to, you know, order groceries online, or I don't know, do whatever. Right? So if that's you, you know what I'm saying. So release your old beliefs, recognize change as it's happening. Remember that your life is not your lifestyle. The circumstances of your life is not your life. Your life is your life, and the purpose of your life is to live your life in as fully a way as you can, right? Follow the sparkly breadcrumbs. Get good help. Get trustworthy advisors. Don't pay attention to the naysayers. That's not my story. Trust the process as it unfolds. Keep your house in order. Update your resume. Keep up with the technology. Veronica says, for the love of gods and all the little fishes in the sea. Yes, it's true. Breathe. And remember that you can always make another decision. But until you make a decision, you're stuck. But once you make a decision, the heavens open. You've had this happen before, right? Where you've decided and then all of a sudden it's like everything lines up, right? So what decision are you going to make today? decide to clear off your desk, decide to hire a housekeeper, decide to go to the doctor, decide to, what else did I say? To try intermittent fasting, decide to sign up for a dating app, decide to forgive someone, decide to forgive someone, decide to explore, decide to enjoy your life. You all are the members of the We Don't Give Up Club, right? So put that gas in your tank. You are no less vital and exciting and necessary to the world than you were when you were and making these decisions all the time, right? So you're in full flower now, you know? So if there's stuff you're not loving about what's going on, quit putting it on ignore, quit turning down the volume on the little voice that's going, maybe things should change. Hi, Jeannie. Jeannie says forgiveness, that's big. Dude, I'm telling you, I've been doing a lot of work around forgiveness. Maybe we'll talk more about that next week. When Lisa says, I decided to jump on this live today, and what a great decision. Well, thank you. I'm so glad you're here too. We're here every Thursday. I started doing this during the Thomas fires, which was like, what, 2018, 2019? I've been, and I was really talking about being afraid to decide. I was like, I don't know if I can commit to doing it every week. That seems like a lot. What if people don't like it? What if I don't like it? And I was like, well, Sam, if you don't like it, then stop doing it. It's social media. No one cares. And here we are years later, every Thursday. Yay. And Joe says, huge money decision about my work. Excellent. Excellent. Good. Make those decisions. So what are you committing to decide today? And in fact, why don't you just decide right now? We'll witness you. We'll be with you. 2018 was the Thomas fires. Thank you, Julie. I knew you'd remember. Good. Anything else you're thinking about or wondering about? We got a minute or two before we go. So y'all can come visit me now. I got 4 bedrooms. I'm not going to know what room to go into. I'm going to have a dining room. I've never had a dining room. Never. It's very exciting. And of course, all my homeowner friends are like, you have no idea what you're in for. I'm like, I know. I know. I have no idea. Can't wait to find out. Good. I'm so glad to see you all. I'm so glad to be with you here in this community, in this time together. Christy says, asked to illustrate a book, way scared to price it. Well, first of all, there's statistics on that, right? So price out what illustrators generally get paid, and then find out what the range is. I'm sure there's an association of illustrators, certainly Publishers Weekly, MediaCat, there's any, you just Google it, and then make sure you are in at least the top third, okay, of what everybody's charging. Maybe even a little above what everybody else is charging. Be the expensive choice. Be the one that everybody's like, well, she charges a lot, but she's totally worth it. Be that person. Because that's the value of your work to them, right? This is not your what you charge is not a commentary on your worth as a person. It's what is your work worth to them. You're going to solve an important problem for them, and you deserve to be compensated appropriately. And if you don't charge enough, you're going to hate it the whole time and end up feeling used and abused. And who needs that? Veronica says there's a page rate. It'll make a lot of dilettantes gag, which is a good thing. Yeah. So just find out what the page rate is. Jeannie says, decided to clean up the yard, something I love to do, but just couldn't motivate myself. Yay. Yes. Go get that yard, Jeannie. Go show that yard who's boss. Shirley says, be careful of the dining room. Large flat surfaces attract stuff. Oh, I've heard. I've heard. Okay. And then Lisa's cheering for you, saying, yay, amazing. Great. So if you are not on the mailing list at therealsambennett.com, go ahead and hop over there and make sure you're on the email list. And I am looking forward to seeing you here next week. Yes, I'll have room for in-person workshops. Robin says, I'm happy you'll have a dining room. I can host dinner parties. Exactly. Yeah, you can see this right here these are moving boxes. So And Joe says, deciding I have to go for it. Yes, ma'am. Go for it. All right, everybody, let's do one more breath to close out this circle. Thank you all for your good wishes. I love you. Go decide things. Let's inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for doing this with me. Have a great week.